Hello, and welcome to Geeks Assembled. And today we will be talking about the brand new episode of Doctor at the end called Oxygen. Peter Capaldi, I never can get his name right, Kel Mackey, Matt Lucas in outer space. It was, in my opinion, pretty good, but my opinion don't count. It's the cast members what count. So we will go to, for a first opening thoughts, let's go to Craig.
This was a really good episode, and I'm not really keen on episodes where they're stuck on a spaceship sort of thing, because it reminds me of like 42, for example. But I think the story still flows. I can still follow Doctor Who. Like Doctor Who now is like, it's like a family thing where people in my family want to watch it again, whereas in the previous 2-3 seasons it's not been that case. It's just me watching it solo, but now it's a thing to do on a Saturday again, which is just really good. And I don't know if it's the writing or a combination of Bill and I keep going up Bill and the Doctor. They just work together so well. She's really growing as a companion. Even that, I laughed out loud when the Doctor got a cuddle from Bill and Nardole. It's just working really well. And I think it just made me think, like, I wasn't expecting the outcome as well. I was just trying to racking my brain over what was going to happen at the end, and it just threw me a little bit, and I quite like that. Yeah, the zombies, they reminded me of the Dragonfire zombies, especially when they were making footsteps, that dun dun dun. So that was quite good. A bit like Night of the Living Dead on a spaceship, really. No brains got eaten though.
But yeah, you know, that never entered my head, that vision of Night of the Living Dead on a spaceship. But now you've put it into my head, I will never get rid of it.
So, even Bill, like, when she said at the end she thought she was going to die, and she was having all those flashbacks about her mother. I thought of Ace in The Curse of Fenric when she had the photo and she said, "Mom, I'm sorry." When she thought, you know, she's just brilliant. But yeah, in terms of this one, I liked it. I mean, it was far more better than that one where they were stuck on a spaceship and was sleep in people's eyes and all that. That was probably not one of my best episodes. So yeah, I thought it was all right.
Oh, great opening thoughts there, Craig. We will go to Kevin and see what his thoughts are on this episode.
Well, I pretty much like this episode. Bill and Peter Capaldi are working so well, you know, and you can really see it on the screen. But yeah, I thought that Bill was going to die for a minute, but she isn't. So yeah, that's the big twist. But yeah, the another big twist is that the Doctor is still blind at the end of the episode. So yeah, that's cool to see how that works in the next couple of episodes. Maybe next episode he's going to do a regeneration to heal his eyes or something. But yeah, I pretty much liked it. So that's my opening thoughts.
Oh, brilliant, Kevin. We'll move on now to a new member. We'll call her Susie W. What's your opening thoughts on the episode Oxygen?
Susie, that's what my mom calls me. That's perfectly fine. Oxygen. Well, it wasn't my favorite of the new episodes. Let's put it that way. I didn't hate it, but I didn't fall in love with it. It did remind me too much of some of the other spaceship episodes that we had, and I couldn't figure out exactly. Sometimes they resolve these things so quickly you can't catch it. How come Pearl was saved, but no one else was? I mean, Bill. Yeah, it was kind of, I couldn't figure that one out. But overall, it went well. She reminds me a lot of old Who companions. pretty much a generic old Who companion, except she's gay. But I wouldn't have done that back then. But I think that she's, honestly, I think the show's much better without the whole Clara focus. I think the writing has just finally given the Doctor a chance to be the Doctor. And it took us 3 years to get there. So, not sure how, it wasn't my favorite of the new season, but I love them all, so what can I say?
Oh, cool. I mean, it is a shame that this will be Capaldi's last season.
It is.
It should have. The writing and the acting, not the acting, but the writing should have been as good as this 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, they should have gotten rid of Claire a long time ago. Yeah, it was just. I like the actress. I really do. Just went on too long.
Thank you for that, Susie. Let's go to. Let's see. Let's go to Jason.
Hello, guys. Jason, and yes, I got a vampire body. Anyways, so yeah, I just watched the episode just an hour ago. It's, like I said, I've been doing a long week. So, anyways, it was a great episode, actually. I actually enjoyed it. First, I was going to think, oh, what's this going to be about? Something about space zombies and all that. But it was interesting. It starts on the beginning with a woman and a guy in space, and then you got these dead people with suits walking around and sneaking on him and attacking him, which was pretty interesting. And the effects of it definitely great. You would think it's going to be zombies trying to bite it, but no, I don't think they're going to take it too far on that one. But when they explained more later with their suits and stuff, that it was more like the suits had a mind of their own. That it was all about business. It was all about a company corrupt business, and well, yeah, things like that was going crazy, and the oxygen, there was no oxygen, and the only oxygen you could even get was through the suits itself, and apparently I guess it was limited up to like maybe 6,000 over it. But yeah, but especially at the beginning, Darthel was in the class and talk about space, and he was just drawing a bit on each star, making a star of the star, which is pretty interesting, and explaining it. And I guess one of the students was like, what's this got to do with the something about a different subject for them to talk about? And the Doctor instead, he just decided to talk about space. But with the fact with Nardole and Bill and the Doctor, definitely a great team in this episode. Definitely a great team. Great teamwork, and the humor with Nardole in this one, definitely pretty funny. I mean, he's definitely pretty great on this one. I haven't seen last week's episode, so I really have no idea about that yet. But it was really interesting. I definitely enjoyed it. It definitely kept me on my feet watching to see what's going to happen next, and exactly the point of the Doctor being blind, but he knew what he was going to do. I mean, that's just definitely great. I mean, especially with the Doctor himself, and definitely going to be more interesting for next week as well, how he's going to process this. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed the episode. The robot creatures, they were or I should say the robot suit creatures were intense. The blue guy mentioned about the racist part to Bill. Okay, that was a bit funny, but yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Definitely some laughs. Definitely, it was a bit dark in a way, but it had humor in the same time. So I agree with Craig. It's better than 42, and I'll bring my ratings later for this episode itself. And you know what? I like the scenery of it, the space scenery. Definitely a great episode.
Oh, thanks for that, Jason. Yeah, I'm in total agreement with you on most of that. Let's move on to Alex and Susan. So, which one of you wants to go first?
Yeah, I didn't really like the story per se, and the politics might have been a little heavy-handed, but then again, science fiction is sort of a allegory or a story of personality and politics and things like that. The cast was very good. There was about 3 people that survived outside of Doctor and Nardole. The other two were going to lodge complaint. The politics, a little heavy-handed, reminded me a little bit of Sunmakers, and you have 42 and you have the Almost People. So they've done similar ambiance, similar plot lines before. Yeah, they did touch a little bit on The Walking Dead, sort of. They said it was the suits instead of the zombies, but like I said, they're going to do a little bit of an homage to it. It was enjoyable to watch. I don't know if it was a great story. I wouldn't say that, but it was enjoyable to watch. And obviously, they're trying to change the dynamic of the Doctor and sort of have him as a teacher, firefighter, Time Lord combination with Bill's character being more natural and spontaneous. And Clara was too at the beginning, but I think that they wanted too much contrast. So I think that's the other reason why Bill is probably being very well received, because you don't have the same emotional pull and you don't have her throwing, tantrum after tantrum, story after story like Clara did. And then she fell in love with, what's his name? Danny. And that got a little overdone. But getting back to the story, yeah, I mean, it was good. Obviously, they want to make it more American. They want to make it quicker pace, not dwell on so much. And yeah, you probably will have to write that for, 2017. But the season has been very good so far. Susan?
Thank you. And hadn't you mentioned that you also saw like Robots of Death in it?
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the corporate, let's make money ambiance.
Yeah, thanks. I really I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. I saw when it started, when the episode started, I thought how amazing it was. Like there was all these Star Trek references. I thought that was just brilliant. And then the episode pointed itself towards Kill Bill. Like the whole thing was aimed at killing Bill, but the suit didn't have enough energy or something, and so she didn't get killed anyway. But there was that kind of Kill Bill thing happening, and then there was and then it was interesting how the I liked how the Doctor pursued the answer to this question by asking for her trust. And so we're at the point in this mentor student relationship, professor and student relationship, that he can ask for her trust. And Nardole was asking for, Nardole had been entrusted with this whole other set of instructions about the vault, and he was like, what the heck, you're leaving, you're breaking your own rules. And he's like, yeah, that's what I do. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, I was going to say something else, but I've forgotten, so I'll send it back to Lee. Thanks.
If you remember what you was going to say, Susan, jump back right in. It's back with Brian. Over to you.
Right. So let's see. What I thought of the episode was pretty good. I actually enjoyed this story of Doctor Who. I think each episode of this series is getting better and better within all the time each week. Plotline and the story, it was great. I loved it. And all the characters were great in it. All the characters were great in it. The Doctor and Bill and Nardole were good, but actually, I think I would probably say that the story could have done well without Nardole. I didn't think he was necessary within the story or the episode. So, what are you gonna do? Shit happens. um, but anyway, with Bill, I absolutely love her. She's, I think, the best companion within New Who so far. She's much more relatable and pretty much, well, the best companion within New Who, like I said. So I also absolutely enjoy her as a companion. But with her getting turned into a dead thing, dead, like one of the dead people on the spaceship. No, I knew that wasn't gonna come to be and be permanent. They weren't gonna actually kill her. She just got on the show. I knew that wasn't gonna be permanent. I knew she wasn't gonna stay dead. Come on. But having the fact up to the point like where she was turning into a non-dead character and having flashbacks of like her life with the picture of her mother, I thought that was needed and necessary. Like you guys were saying, but it was. I thought it was good. So, and the most awesome thing I thought was within the episode that when I was watching, the most amazing, awesome thing was the Doctor Blind. Even at the very end, it was awesome, and the Doctor can do pretty much anything, in my opinion. Now, within the crisis, he could do anything, even when he's blind. That is just absolutely amazing and awesome to me. But now, what is he gonna do? He's blind. Holy shit!
Yeah, well, yeah, we don't know. We'll have to see next week what happens there, Brian.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that, of course, it means the return of the shades. What some people don't like.
Yeah, and it's gonna. Aren't those the Sonic shades as well?
It's just an excuse to look cool in it as he walks down the corridor.
But yeah, and with the dead people on the ship, I thought I didn't get the zombie feel or anything like Night of the Living Dead or anything like that. It kind of reminded me of a different approach to Cybermen. It kind of reminded me of the Cybermen a bit.
Well, funny you should say that, Brian, because when I was watching it, the way the suits were walking, clunking down the corridor, you got the feel of the old Troughton Cybermen. The way they were just clunking down, the suits were clunking, and as they panned away from the spaceship, it did look like the wheel in space. I think there was a few nods to Troughton in that episode, but maybe this is the shape of things to come in this season's finale. You never know.
Because it kind of reminded me and felt like Cybermen to me, like a different approach to like a Cyberman could be or whatever, but so kind of felt like a Cyberman thing. Yeah. So with the Doctor, getting back to the Doctor Blind, I thought maybe this is like a little thing that he could do, or maybe this is like one of the things like he needs to regenerate. they want to get his sight back, but that's probably not the case. But I just had a thought out there that maybe like this is like maybe. So yeah. So holy shit, the doctor's blind. Holy shit.
And on that bombshell, it's my go. It's my go now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you guys go on to it.
Yes, well, I'll have my little say, then I'll open the floor up. And stuff. As I mentioned, I did totally get this Cyberman feel from those suits, and it was a nice little vibe there. I disagree with Brian that Nardole added a lot to this episode. He brought the humour, and it was, you got to have a bit of humour in these episodes. And those three as a team working together, I enjoy really well. I mean, when they're in their episode together, like there was in the pilot episode, that was a brilliant story, working together, those three. And as you say, the humour from Nardole, brilliant. As it's been mentioned, where he goes up and puts his arm around him and says, "Cuddle," that was just funny. And the doctor sending him to Birmingham for a packet of crisps. That was just a bit, so fun. The banter from those three is just brilliant. I thought this was a top-notch episode. We've had the walking suits before in the library episode with David Tennant. A similar sort of storyline where the suits were taking over, they were walking. But it was just told differently, and it wasn't zombies because they were dead. The suits were walking, the bodies weren't making them walk, so there was no zombies there. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Up to now, this is my favourite season because it had the classic vibe to it, and it also had the awesomeness of Capaldi and his team members working so well together. So, without further ado, I will open the floor and ask, your favourite moments or things what you didn't like about the episode. Fire away, anybody.
I remembered what I was going to say. I hadn't mentioned the fact that how much I enjoy seeing EVAs when space travelers go outside their spaceship into the cold and the blank depths of space. It's just, wow, that does amazing. It's breathtaking to me. And so, it may have been a cheap ploy to get to take away my breath, but it worked. It totally worked. So yeah, I love that.
It was beautifully shot as well. I'm going to call that the outside spaceship. Brilliantly done. So, anybody with favourite parts or things you didn't like about it?
I know.
Please fire away.
I'm not sure. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on. Yeah.
Okay. It was funny because I also forgot a lot of the things I wanted to say, and Susan's friend mentioned the comparisons to Almost People and some of the other corporate greed stories, and that seems to be a really big Who theme in general is corporate greed. I also forgotten entirely about the funny line with the blue head guy and Pearl Mackie. That was hysterical. Oh, a racist. Well, I mean, that was funny. And the opening, I totally forgot. That was brilliant. It was absolutely blank brilliant. So that was me not swearing. So it was really, I liked those parts of the episodes. All I could remember was, the story parts that I wasn't all that fond of. I'm looking forward to Nardole not having to be a schoolmarm and keep laying down the law. That'll be nice. And I thought, there's a lot of Star Trek references that Who does. And I think it's great. And it's cool also when you see the TARDISes and other things. Like, I don't know if anybody ever saw, there's a DC animated, it's the Superman and the Elite. And in one of the scenes, they're in some sort of a huge spaceship, you see a TARDIS. Well, it's a police box, so it has to be a TARDIS, just sort of sitting there as they walk by. So if you ever get to see Superman and the Elite, watch for that. It's very cool. But lastly, about the Doctor being blind, the first thing that occurred to me was, how's he going to get out of this without regenerating completely? Well, if the Master's in the vault, right, one of the Masters, we don't know who, or if River's coming back, River supposedly doesn't have any more regeneration energy yet, but God knows, because she did say she was going to be back when we last saw her computer image. She did say it wouldn't be the last time. But if the Master's in the vault, whether it's Missy or the Master, they would have some regeneration energy, and they could do a little bargaining with whatever the reason that they're trapped in there to help him get his sight back. So it could happen. Anyway, those are the things I wrote down after I was done talking. And that's it. So yes, there are a lot more things in the episode that I liked than I didn't.
Oh, so you're assuming it's the Master or Missy in the vault, are you?
I'm not sure if it's Master or Missy.
Could be the Rani.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
It's going to have to be the Master. I think it is, because at the end of last week's episode, with the piano, it would play. Dun, 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 dun,
Well,
only the Master could be that crazy to play that music.
Well, I'm only going by the next week's trailer where they showed you a clip of Missy. So I would say it's not Missy in the vault, because why show Missy in the trailer?
Maybe to show her that she's going to be in the next show.
Yeah, but
that's just spoiled the surprise, then, hasn't it? By putting it in the trailer. It
could be the Master in the vault, because the last time we saw him, he was going back with the old Time Lords.
Yeah,
so,
it's probably the Master. It can't be Missy. It has to be the Master.
Well, I mean, it could be both. I want it to be both, but the thing is, last time Missy was on the Dalek planet. Remember Skaro?
Yeah, exactly.
So again, we don't really know, and there's been 2 or 3 times that they've shown in the whole series that you really don't see what happens to the Master. He just kind of
I think it's John Sims' Master, because John Sims' Master, I feel would be that crazy enough to play the music that he played on the piano, like I'm saying. So.
Well, again, I mean, sadly they want 8 million viewers a week, even though they have the internet and other things that you could buy the episodes on. So maybe they're just having Missy there to try to drum up viewers, because they didn't get a lot for yesterday. I didn't really like the resolution of it, and I thought the politics were a little heavy-handed. I think they could have done a little bit more subtle.
Yeah, but the politics, really. If you go back to the Pertwee era, Pertwee was always taking on the big corporate businesses, and it had that feel about it. I thought, oh yeah, a bit of Pertwee, and the way Capaldi's hair's going at the moment.
I know it is.
He's channeling Pertwee.
Yeah, no, it's getting to be a big old lion's mane of hair.
Yeah.
But but remember too that in the Pertwee era, you were watching the same story for 4 weeks or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's not like it is now, where they're trying to condense everything in 35 minutes or 42 minutes, something like that. It's
just the modern way of making TV these days.
Right. Yeah, they're afraid if it's too long, they won't be able to sell it anywhere. So, that's the other difference. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think also too they're trying to make it faster as well. As far as favorite moments, you do have a great cast. I mean, Capaldi is wonderful. Hopefully, the BBC will be hurt a little bit by getting rid of Capaldi, and they'll realize that they really made a mistake by not giving him more seasons and taking away a whole nother series that he could have done.
I thought he made that choice.
There's a little bit of debate about that. He didn't really make the choice, because sadly, sorry to get political, guys, but if you saw the Christmas episode, the BBC released an internet poll, and they kept asking about Capaldi and his interpretation of it and such, sort of singling him out like he's responsible for the whole show, just like Moffat. Yeah, they probably have, maybe 20 to, 45% input, but the BBC has input too, as well as other, other factors that we may or may not know about,
So to put it blankly, he was.
Oh, got it.
Did I just say that? That's it. That the BBC will send the hit squad after me.
Sorry,
now.
I didn't hear that part, Lee. You dropped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pushed by the BBC. That was it. Yeah. Anybody else with favourite moments or bits what you didn't like?
Well, I just wanted to add on the whole Capaldi leaving thing. I am looking forward to seeing an entirely new creative cast's take on Who, because we are seeing a lot of the same kinds of resolutions to plots and comparisons, and so I'm really interested to see what the next one's going to be like. However, even with that said, I think they should have kept Capaldi through to the next one, because I think he could have seen more of him instead of just, all of his episodes were more of kind of the same of what we had seen in the past. Not all, but I love him. But I think he didn't get treated with as much. I would have liked to see him with another creative team. I guess that's the bottom line. If
he should have carried on over the Chibnall bit when it starts next year and see what Chibnall
exactly
with the Aldi Doctor. So, not to be. Oh dear. So if there's nobody else got any favourite moments or worst bits, I will go on to final thoughts and scores.
Lee, can I just add something?
Yeah, go on then.
I forgot to add something when I was my run. I forgot to say at the very beginning when Capaldi was in his in the class giving his lecture at the university, Nardole was recognizing that he misses out going on within adventures, and it occurs. I mean, it occurs to me, and I think this is what mostly. I think that it occurred to me, and I think this is always what it's been with the Doctor. He can't stay still. He never wants to stay still. He's always on the run and going off to doing the adventures. He wants to go out and see the universe and everything. He can't.
He doesn't like to be tied down into one place at one time.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why, going back to like Classic Who and everything, once Pertwee regenerated into Tom Baker, he was immediately glad to go off and doing his thing and going into his adventures and everything. So that's
good.
what I've been noticing, and not like the Doctor and everything. So
yeah, that's a good point there, Brian. So it's final thoughts time and scores. So we will go with Craig. Final thoughts and scores.
Final thoughts. I like the cliffhanger. Like, I can't wait for next week's episode. I've seen Nardole in like an entirely new light now. Like, what's going on there? It's like is he showing his true colours? What's his purpose? It's all going to be revealed. Brilliant piece of writing there. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Not a bad score there, Craig. Over to Kevin.
Well, me, right?
That's your name, Kevin. Your name.
Yeah, that's my name. Well, final thoughts. I really like this episode. The suits were the enemy of this episode, kind of. So yeah, I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10.
All right, I can see where this one's going. Let's go over to Susie W.
Had to unmute. Well, when I thought back about it, I didn't really like it, and then everybody brought up the funny parts, and then I started liking it again. If I have to do the whole dance rating thing, Dancing with the Who's, probably 7 out of 10 for me.
That's still not a bad score. Still not a bad score, that. Let's see what Jason has to say.
Like I said, I like the humor on it. The team with the Doctor, Bill, and Nardole, definitely a great team. Hopefully to see more of it on the rest of the episodes in the near future. Definitely liked how dark it was, and like how the robot, like when you mentioned, Lee, about how it felt like Forest of the Library of the Forest or Library of the Dead. It was felt more like that. I should have mentioned that. I mean, that's what I was thinking at the moment. But it was definitely a great episode. I definitely really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 9.5 on this one.
A 9.5. Okay, thanks for that, Jason. Let's go to Brian and see how many TARDISes he gives out of 10.
Who, me?
Who, you? Yes, you.
Okay.
You're the only one. You're the only one who scores TARDISes. I don't know why you do it, but go on.
Okay, all right. Well, what I thought is this is a terrible episode. I hate it. No, I'm just kidding.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
No. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I like this episode. This is a great Doctor Who episode. Like a great Doctor Who episode for the season. Right now, it's not my favorite, but it is a good episode for the season. It's really great and good. I love it. So I'm gonna give this episode.
Right, everybody hold your breath.
I'm gonna give this episode probably like around maybe like 8 tortoises.
Bad, not bad. Alex and Susan, final two. What's your say?
All right, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10 for the various reasons that I said before, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it seems like Alex just got busy, so we'll. As far as I remember, I think he gave it an 8 out of 10 yesterday. So
okay, that's okay. I mean, you might as well. You mind reading because you're cohabiting, so it's that you get like that after a while. To me, to me now, I'm giving it a 10 because I just love this one. It had a classic feel about it. It had threat, it had danger, and it had damn good acting from the main cast and a lot of humour. So I couldn't fault it. It's a 10 from me. So without further ado, I would like to thank the cast, everybody who's taken part today. Thank you for joining us, because without you lot, we'd be nothing. And, follow us. We've got a public Facebook group. We're on Twitter. We're on Tumblr. If you want to join in our casts, comment below, or, let us know you want to join in, or contact any of us. We're on social media. And as for the comments as well, leave something below if you dislike the story, like the story. If you just, some people don't like Jason for some reason, and if you don't like him, say so. Or Craig, say what a nice, lovely vest he's wearing, or why couldn't he address asked? But things like that. And if any, yes, yeah. If any of you got any plugs to do for your channel while we're at it?
Well, I'd just like to invite people to come. TARDIS Blue Radio is running like 2 or 3 shows a week on www.mixler.com/TBN-SCIFI/ and that's our radio show. And just look for the links in our various TARDIS Blue spoilers group. Also, thanks, Susan, for coming and joining us. This is really great.
Yes.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And Justin does a great job with that radio show, by the way.
Yeah,
he could
does.
work for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He knows his stuff.
He does.
Yeah.
I know Kevin's got his own channel. What's your channel's name?
Oh, it's Kevin Bulthuis. The name it's my last name and my first name. So, and the unboxing
Craig's got his own
videos.
chat. Yeah. Yes, he does. And so I know someone else who unboxes a lot of things. Craig, he's got his own channel. Do you want to give a little plug?
Yeah, check out Craig's World 2 for me taking little figures out of boxes and getting orgasms over them.
And he does. I tell you, that's how he gets a lot of views.
Yeah, I think I put a pass on that one. No thanks.
And Jason's got his own channel. Do you want to give it a little plug while you're here?
Yep, it's Native Firewolf channel, and it's got like reviews, also some animation, and just some random stuff. I try to do some new experiments in the videos itself, so check that out.
Cool. Right, so before I say goodbye and thank you, to end this discussion of Oxygen, let's all the cast hold their breaths till the very end. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.